that at this particular point in time, I refuse to take part in the political charade being presented by any citizens or boards that have deep aspirations for the election year in politics. I've sat on this board for over 30 years, and I will not allow you to question me ethically about what has been the standard of the school system for 30 years. My original reservation was not completed. By the time we went back in, there was only one seat available for me, and I paid the difference for that seat. On my way back, I'm on row 23. So if you have a problem with row 23, I understand. And as far as any gifts, we started a tradition because when I started the board, every school board member went to the National School Board Association. And as years went by, work got in the way, family got in the way, and we always brought something back to that member who couldn't go. The cost of what I was purchasing was $10. And so I say to you that I have, as a JM graduate, the only one on this board, what we learned was the importance of getting out and learning and growing. And I can tell you I will continue to go to that conference because I'm a member of the Black Caucus there. I learned so much that I come back so positive and willing to work with you. It is my hope that you stop looking at me and you look at those wonderful students that got perfect scores on their SOLs. I can't tell you how proud I was of them tonight because of the negative press we have always received about SOLs. And so I hope that you, as teachers, administrators, staff, you feel good about what you saw, because I did. And I don't know, maybe I missed a school board member where there were so many perfect scores, but I felt very good about it. And I thank you for the work that you do to make that possible. Thank you.
But what I have read was distressing because of the abuse of the trust that the community has in you, our board. While I would commend the board for the policy that was passed at last month's meeting regarding that expenditure covering board members' professional development, it seems a pity to have to commend you for adopting a policy that is merely good sense, merely fiscal responsibility. If it takes a policy to set things straight, I'm all for it. Every other time that I've come to this podium, it's been to advocate for our students and our teachers. I think that's what I'm here to do tonight. I'm not here to call out board members, but rather to advocate for the students and the faculty who depend on them. So I'm troubled that anyone on the board could have thought that such lavish expenditure was justified. There should be no perks to service on the school board, save the community respect that accrues to you and the opportunity to see our school's successes firsthand. And I'd like to think that should be enough. This is the sort of service you take on because you believe in its worth, not because of what it brings back to you. I think this is why our teachers have signed on to their jobs too. And while I support anyone's professional development, and the requirement that the board members participate in such is just good professional practice, why do we expect the teachers to fund their own? I'm saying that given the minimal budget allocations at each of the schools under conferences and education. This is budget object 455-400. And the many people at those schools who need that money compared with a figure some 5 times larger for a board of 6 people. This suggests to me that your allocation is simply too large to begin with. If members of the school board deem that we have adequate funds for luxury SUVs, first-class air tickets, and the use of school personnel as personal chauffeurs at public expense, that money should be redirected to where there is great need, supporting our students and their teachers. I did wonder. The Advance reported that the board member was attempting to buy gifts for other board members using the clerk's credit card. When it was discovered that that card had been canceled, I'm curious what budget line would those gifts have been paid out of. Perhaps that line needs to be zeroed out. The Advance reported that both Mr. Bailey and Ms. Kay reimbursed a portion of their expenses, a total of about $320. difficult for me to see how that comes up with the 5,000 that travel overran. Thank you for your time.
Citizens are watching. Children are watching. Trust in our public institutions, especially our schools, depends on transparency, accountability, and a commitment to putting students first. Recent reports of questionable travel spending and inconsistent budget oversight are deeply troubling. These concerns not only undermine public confidence, but risk distracting from the critical work of actually educating our children. Travel for professional development and advocacy can be very beneficial, but only when it's done responsibly with clear justification, transparent reporting, and measurable benefit to our school system. Any appearance of excess or misuse must be addressed swiftly and publicly. Moving forward, I respectfully urge the board to take action. Follow your new policy concerning board travel, including looking at pre-approval protocols, expense caps, and post-travel reporting requirements. Strengthen your internal budget controls to ensure that all expenditures, particularly those made with public funds, are appropriate, documented, and aligned with the mission. Improve transparency by making all board expenses and travel reports easily accessible to the public in a timely manner. At a time when resources are tight, classrooms are in need, and staff morale is fragile. Every dollar must be used wisely and every decision made with integrity. Our students deserve nothing less. I also urge you as a school board to understand the budget and your own responsibilities. I'm deeply troubled by statements from recent meetings. I am grateful for the city staff, school staff, for their hard work, but it is not their job to find money when you spend recklessly and selfishly without putting students first. Thank you.
I sat in Mrs. Brown's history classroom in the 6th grade, and Mr. Bruni's civics in the 7th, Mrs. Rackley-Rio's in 11th, and Mr. Kohler's in the 12th, and they did not teach me to sit down when someone is being unjust. What you guys, or anyone who uses money like that recklessly did, was unjust. You took the resources that would have been used by my fellow students and by people at our city schools, and you used them, and they were not used by the students. I am all for professional development, and I recognize that you all need to be kept up to date with current trends and dynamics. My teachers had to spend money and put crayons and colored pencils and tissue boxes on the syllabus because they could not buy it themselves. Using money for private tickets and trips while my teachers could not spend their own money on basic necessities might not have broken a policy at the time, but that is immoral. And thank you for writing the policy. You all are adults. You shouldn't have needed one to make the right choice. Thank you for letting me speak. Have a nice evening.